Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this space. Welcome to this space. And welcome to that which we will share together in this space. And that is higher dimensional understandings. And why would we want to share higher dimensional understandings? Because when we have higher dimensional understandings, we birth higher dimensional realities. And that's the way we live. That's the experiential spaces of us. So if that interests you, then stay tuned, listen in, and allow this space. Yes? All right, all right, all right. So I'm here today with beautiful divine being of light, and she is incredible in so many ways. She's taken me by storm, if you will, by love. She is vibrant, and she anchors an amount of clarity and love that we need on this planet. So I'm so grateful for her and for all that she is in this space. Now, I'm going to say her name, and then she is going to graciously either say that I said it right, or she's going to say it a little bit better for us. But is it Lamyae?
Lamyae.
Lamyae. Lamyae?
Lamyae in
Okay.
Arabic.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're so kind. You're so kind. All right. So give us an idea of how did you find my work and Acasma Quantum Energy?
Yes, first, I just want to thank you so much for creating this space for me to express myself and share what I have. And I'm so honored that I found you. And I feel like I found home. I found a teacher that I can trust, that I can be totally myself with. I'm grateful for that every single day. I was looking for answers about light language and about ancient civilizations. Lemuria was just coming a lot in my head, and I found you on TikTok. The first moment I saw you, it was like the signs you do with your hands, and it attracts you to just be in the moment. So I started to listen to the light language, and I started to cry. And I knew that something was, the thing I was looking for was in there. So I started stalking you on Instagram.
That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. So many people say that connection of seeing the videos where I'm either moving my hands, which you do all of this as well. So I think a lot of people that have that moment, it's like looking in the mirror in a sense. It's like feeling like somebody else gets that space. They understand, they are that space. And the emotional side of it. And it's interesting, I didn't have anybody to watch on social media when I went through that space, but I did what you're talking about. But it was like with my team of light in my own world, like I didn't have another person on a social outlet to look at. But everything you guys are sharing with me about the emotions and feeling home, I had that happen to me. I would be just sitting in my living room holding a crystal and just taking a moment to just be still and think about things. I wasn't even really trying to meditate or anything. And this rush of home would flood in, and languages of light would flood in. And I'd cry like incredibly, amount of tears and emotions. And I love that though, that I can hear your words and I can see how interconnected we all are. Like it's the same thing happening in all of us that are making these connections. All right, so you have that space. You stalk me. I love those words. That's so fun. And I remember you reaching out a couple of times and saying you
Yes.
liked a certain thing or you felt connection here or there. So then where was the first connection point with you stepping into this space more with Acasma Quantum Energy? Was it the Galactic Shaman for you, or what was it that?
No, it was first in the Acasma grid.
Oh, okay. I love it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Okay, so that happens for a lot of people, and which is wonderful. I'm so grateful. All right, so you did the Acasma grid, and anybody who does not know what we're talking about, there are links below the video for the Acasma grid. It's free. There's no charge to be in the Acasma grid. It's gifted once a month. The first grid you did, when do you remember the year?
It's almost 2 years from now. It was a replay. I watched
Oh,
only a replay.
I love that too. I love that too.
And
So
I
you
was, yeah,
go ahead.
I was listening to you. I did not understand what it meant, like engage, alignment, or all of those words, but I was crying. And I had the inner knowing that I have already been in this space, even though I did not understand with my mind, but my heart knew. So I sent an email on. I told you I want to hold this space for Morocco, Africa. Even I didn't not know what it means to hold this space.
I love that. That is trust. That is trust, right?
Yeah, I was just words coming out of me, and just I say to myself, what are you writing? Just I go with that.
I love it. Okay, so you watched an Acasma Planet of Light and Healing Grid video, which
Yes.
is really awesome because some people will say, well, if I can't make the live, it's not as good because it's not live. And that's not true, is it? It's just as powerful. And sometimes I think even more powerful to watch the
Yes.
replays, to watch the videos. I understood in 2020 that we were to build this grid that we're talking about. There's a lot of other grids on the planet, but I was here and Beautiful Divine One was here and many, many others to do this grid, the Acasma grid. They all matter. They all are doing their space of it. And so there were like 26 or so founding anchors. We called them anchors because we understood that many more would come and they would be more like the pillars that would go in, but we had to have anchors. It was just a knowing in my being. And I knew that I was supposed to say engage alignment. And my voice would be different too. You may remember, and people that watch the videos, it's a very strong voice. It's like engage alignment. It's
I
very
love it.
but it's the energy for me, right? Some people will say to me, oh, who are you channeling? You know, who is that? And I'll be like, it's me, but it's a space of me allowing that flow to come through. And so whenever I do that, my voice does change. And you'll even notice it in this video right here as I'm talking to you. It's starting to change right now. And I'm over accentuating certain words or vowels or whatever it is. That is all energy. I do not think of how I can make this happen. I just allow it to happen and I get out of the way. And every single time we start moving into higher consciousness understandings, my voice starts to change. So when I'm doing the grid and I'm initiating these spaces, it's coming from that higher vibrational space of us. And so therefore it sounds very different. But a lot of people really love that about the grid. And I don't always do it anymore because we've gotten so big and we have so many places on the planet being represented that my list was getting very, very long, you know, which was a good thing. It is a good thing. But a lot of people really love that engage alignment part. So then you do, anybody who's interested in the grid, please come join us. We'd love to have you. And whether you can be there live or not doesn't matter. Now, where did you go after that? So you had connection with the grid, you had the sensation of coming home. Where did you go from there?
From there, my son started writing that language.
I love it. I love it.
He's 13 years old. He's so wise. I follow his wisdom on a daily basis, like he gives, and he's so advanced in technology and all of those new things of the future. So I did send you a picture of his light language.
Yes. Yes.
And I saw that he's not a person who trusts easily the others, my son, and he was so like feeling home with you too, and I was like amazed. And he accepted to receive a healing session from you, me and him. I remember, I think you were in Sedona last year, and you sent me a video
Yes.
about his migraine. Yes, that
Yes,
was
I think.
the
Go ahead. Yes.
yes. I knew you saw that he was connected to higher dimensional beings, and he was already doing his work, even though he's not conscious about it. So I knew that I was raising two star seeds. So I had to work more on myself to be to help them.
That's
That
beautiful.
was, yeah.
That's an important space of this. All right. So yes, I recall that now. I think I filmed outside of the space of the
Yes.
house I'm staying in. I filmed outside. Um, I think that was the only session I did while I was on the trip, because I don't usually do sessions for people when I'm out there, you know, but felt like there was some type of connection with what we were doing in the actual gathering I was holding, and you and your children. So even though you weren't there in the physical sense, I knew you had a connection to it energetically. And so that's quite powerful. Yes, yes, yes. I remember that now. That's beautiful. And I love that he trusts and feels the space as well. That's
He
really.
loves you. My kids love you.
Oh, I'm so honored. I am so honored. I
My
would.
daughter is always was always on my AQV sessions. Like she'd always wanted to come and sit and say hello.
That's so beautiful. I really do look forward to the day where I get to meet everyone in person. I would love to just hold everyone, you know, hold all of you in my arms and just we all be together. That would be so wonderful. So we'll just allow that to be a space we hold together as a possibility that unfolds. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but do you feel like you were in a space where it was like not only were you waking up for you, more waking up, you know, more expansion, but also in order to facilitate the best environment possible to be there for them as they were these little higher dimensional beings of light? Yeah,
Yes, of course. Now
yeah.
you just like see them as divine, and you have also the mission to work on yourself more so they can express themselves quicker than you did on Earth.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember feeling like they are their own beings. I'm their mother. And yes, I was the way in which they came into this life. And so I raised my kids very, very differently than what most people would have called normal. I homeschooled my kids, and I never made them be, I did in the beginning try to give them religion, but it was when I was still in, and I thought that was normal. But my
Mhm.
youngest one, you know how you say they're so wise. My youngest one at like 4 years old or so looked at me, and I was teaching her from a homeschool program. I was teaching her what they were teaching in the program, and it said that you're born with a black heart. You're born full of sin. And she just looked up at me and she said, Mommy, I don't have a black heart. And she was so little. And she said, My heart is full of love. And
Oh,
I just was like, whoa. And it just really shook me to my core. And I was like, why am I programming her with this old man-made distorted program? And I don't mean to judge religion for anyone, but there are pieces and parts in religions that are not there to assist us in expanding
yes.
our consciousness or being who we really are. So that was a big moment for me to hear her say that. And I think when you're talking about your children, we're communicating a very like-minded space of understanding. of what it's like to raise them. When you were in a cosmogalactic shaman, what is it that drew you to that space?
I was already doing ceremonies in the house, but by my inner knowing, not following anyone. You know, I have feathers sent by my students in primary school, candles, all of the kind of stuff, sometimes drawing sacred geometry on my hands. Always felt this calling of shamanism, but I did not find myself in so many places I was looking into. I'm kind of a free person. I love to do things my way. I don't like to be boxed. I love to expand and move forward quickly. So it was the perfect space for me.
I love that you say that because I remember
Yeah.
that with you. And please, anything you don't want me to share, we won't share. I just won't put it in the video. You just tell me. But is it all right? Because I think this will help a lot of people. I remember you writing me and saying something like, I feel like I want to learn from you. I feel like I want to connect with the space, but I also feel like I don't want to lose myself. I don't want to lose.
Yes.
Okay, that's a big one. And it's
Yes.
so important because there are so many spaces out there, so many courses and teachings that they're very structured and they're very like, you have to do it like this, and then you have to do this, and that's the only way it will work. So I'm taking it you found this space to be different.
Yes. It's different. It's like I can say in words, we have love, compassion. It's higher understanding, freedom, and sovereignty.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, and all those things are here because the teachings of Acasma all come as the higher vibrational space of connection of us. It's a higher dimensional, higher space that we're connecting in with. So if we were to do what we've always done and have all those boxes and lids and structured have tos, then we are not new. We are not higher. We are the same we've always had. Therefore, we're going to get what we've always got. But to open the door and say, you're sovereign. This is a way in which you can trust you more. This is a way in which you can allow you more, but you're not totally out there on your own. You've got somebody as a sounding board. You've got somebody to walk beside you, but you are everything you need. So there's 7 ceremony spaces in the Acasma Galactic Shaman course we have right now. Was there one that stood out to you that you felt was more profound?
I remembered, I think it's called Forgiveness Through Blood.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yes, the one with religious trauma, because I could, with the inner knowing, I could see many species. I don't know, of me, my ancestors in Africa, like how we used to be boxed with all my respect in religion. So that was so strong, and I couldn't just let go of the drum. I was crying. It was very intense.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And the drum was a key part of that course, is a key part of that course, allowing the rhythm, allowing the song of the soul to be played through the drum, making the connection of it's all you, even through the drum, it's a space of us. So that's beautiful. All right, so we have so much to talk about. We're probably going to have to do this again if you're all right with it, but let's allow a little bit of space here. You also did AQE Foundations. So that was a beautiful space. I'm grateful to have had you in that space. And is there anything that stood out to you in AQE Foundations that you want to share? Because I also want to talk about sound healing and light language.
Okay. It's like the first one was about self-love.
Oh, yes, that's really big.
And
yes.
yeah, and self-worth. And it was like I did kind of find other layers of the savior mode, within me, and the victim mode within me, and the one who rushes to help everyone else and be the last one you can look at. I was just trying to start serving other people. So I said to myself, stop, just take time and start with yourself first. When you are done with yourself, and then you can give to other people. That was a big space for me to step in self-love, self-worth, in work, with my family, with my kids, and every other space. I'm so grateful for it.
That is so beautiful. I
Yeah.
love it. Your words are so powerful. It's the key to it all. We cannot pour from an empty cup. And not that everybody's empty. We do have a lot of gifts and a lot of power and a lot of movement of energy. But when we allow the space for the self-love and the self-healing and the self-worth to come in more, we anchor those abilities and we're able then to run it like 24/7, and it doesn't feel like we're drained. It feels like we're alive. So all right, that's beautiful. Now, the sound healing, I couldn't wait to get here because you're really wonderful in the chat space with sharing so much. We have a beautiful chat space for these classes and courses and our group. And you just did a video we talked about in the sound healing light language course. We talked about how many of us can shine with our hands, we can use our words, we can write, we can draw, and we can dance. And so you did a beautiful video with moving your body, and you allowed your languages of light to flow through you. And this is really big because when we're doing this, we're not only moving the energy in our own body, in our own environment for our own well-being, but it's also then flooding out to anybody who watches. And I read in that chat, did you read those comments?
Yes.
They were very moved by your work, right?
Yes, I love to read confirmations, and just it gives you the power to move forward and do it again. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And there was a lot of really powerful feedback in there. So thank you for what you shared in there, and trust yourself to share wherever you feel to. You know, I know that you're on IG. We'll put your information here so people can go over to Instagram and find your page.
Thank you.
And you're on TikTok. What are your contact spaces that people could find you on? And I'll make sure I get the links for below as well.
I'm on IG, on TikTok. I have a new channel on YouTube as well.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. What is your YouTube handle or name, or how channel
It's
name?
the same one, Ellen Magic. And
LN Magic. Okay. All right. And the link will be below the video, guys. So if you go into the description, it'll show you all of her contact info. Give her a follow. Go over there and check out her work. She is really powerful, beautiful in what she shares. We're all here to fulfill these spaces of the love that's anchoring into the now. And we're all being those antennas or portals of that love. And so thank you for being the spaces you are being. So before we close, you had some feedback on the Lamyae connection. You had some feedback on expansiveness that was coming in when you were connecting in with the Time to Rise package. So there was like a meditation. Oh my God, I loved creating that meditation. For me, that was such a message of remembrance, really. So I'd love to get your feedback here. That's the one where it's like 40 some minutes long, and it sounds like you go underwater, and it sounds like a spaceship door opens. And then it sounds like you're walking on the wet sand at the coast, and you can hear the waves, and then you can hear the light language of the beings in the background. So totally putting you on the spot, I know, but do you have anything that was coming in or that you picked up on, or even now you're thinking of as we're talking about this space? What are we bringing ourselves here? What do you think's inside this space?
First, the Destined package is so layered. Definitely so layered. I keep reading the PDF, and then go back, and I go back, and I see something else and something new. Like it wasn't at all at first place in there. which is amazing. I love that. I love the expansion with our us expanding and PDF is expanding with us. Yeah, I love that. And for the meditation, I just always feel beautiful connection to Lemuria. Every time I just that motherhood feeling, that kind of love I feel when I hear something, when I hear that language, which is connected to it. And I do feel also so much balance at this time. And people, I don't know, it's my inner knowing. People had so many talents and gifts, and they have been in so much peace. That's what comes from the energy to me. And in the video, I was like coming back in there in the quantum and just remembering those spaces of me so I can use them in this now to help me and other people. That's what I feel. I feel like just a very gentle beings, calm, balanced, ready to serve, and a lot of connections with crystals, sound, singing. That's what comes to my, and the meditation just takes you in there. You can feel everything. You can feel this connection I'm talking about. It just deepens that and it confirms that. I love it.
I love that. That's beautiful. Beautifully said. That's the energy I felt. That peace that was opening the door to where you could hear yourself more. I could hear myself more, and just to be present and allow, and it just flows through. Now, the PDF, yes, very layered, the whole thing very layered. In the PDF, there was this exercise I put in there, and I really, when I wrote it, thought, why am I putting this in there? But I don't ask, I just follow, right? And it was about the golden shoes, okay? So how fascinating, if I'm not mistaken, after that, one of your students brought you the most beautiful little golden slippers, like tradition of your country or culture, something like
Yes,
that.
yes.
You
I always receive like weird messages from from my students on a daily basis. It's so magical and it's so
it
fun to
is,
see and witness.
that is
Every time
magical.
I go to work and I've done something in the inner work, I know that I'm going to receive a beautiful confirmation at work.
I love that. I love that. Yes, you put the picture into the chat, and I was like, she made the shoes.
Yeah,
She brought her
golden shimmering traditional Moroccan shoes, which is a
the.
confirmation of ancestral healing and balance. Yeah.
That's what I thought as well. I thought this is even layered. The sign, the magic is layered. And it's like on the top, it's the golden shoes. That in itself is magic because you were just working with the PDF with the golden shoe, understanding, right? And even as I'm talking right now, heart centers are all opening up more. So then that layer goes deeper, and they're not just golden shoes. They're specific to your culture and your heritage, your ancestors, and they're given to you by a child. So an even another way of understanding the children, I could be, you understand it your way as well, but I was thinking the children will not walk in the same cycle as the ancestor. Like you bridged the gap between the child and the ancestor for the healing to flow, for the bloodlines and all. So incredibly powerful. And that works in everything we do. That work is in the grid. That work is in AQE. That work is in the Acasma Galactic Shaman. There's a really big hawk just flew right in front of my window, really big hawk. That work is in sound healing and light language. That work is in all the spaces, the PDF for the time to rise. There's no way to remove ourselves from the way in which this emanates out throughout all of us, all of our spaces. So That is so, to me, incredibly powerful to know that we have that in this space, you know? As much as it is self-healing, it's also healing the masses through the self-healing. It's so powerful. All right, now, I always talk a lot. I try not to, but all right, now, is there anything else you want to share with us before we close up this video space? Anything?
I just want to tell everyone who does really want to know thyself and live a better life. I learned, maybe the hard way, that time here on earth is precious, and live your life fully. Live your life fully. Let your soul breathe and let your soul express its divinity in every aspect of your life. Trust that little voice, which is going to grow on a daily basis. It's going to be so strong that you cannot not listen to it. Trust me. Follow it, trust yourself, and do whatever will make you happy, and trust that you have so many gifts that the earth is waiting to receive from you. You're unique, and you're powerful, you're sovereign, and you are more than you think you are. Believe me.
Beautiful. I love that. Thank you, Holy One. Thank you. Thank you for bringing your presence to this space, your knowings, your understandings, your love. Thank you for taking the time to come in here and share this with us and allow us into your world, and for being a part of ours. Thank you, Holy One. And thank you all who joined us. Check for the links below. Meet us in the grid if you'd like to. You can join us there or participate via YouTube. Check out those videos as well. Doesn't matter when you come in contact with the energy, with the video, it's always at the right moment. It doesn't matter if it's a year old or a day old. It doesn't matter. You find it when you're supposed to. So thank you for bringing in your love the way you're bringing in your love as well. And we are here and we are light, divine holy ones. So thank you for being that. All right, until we meet again, until next time, we love you, we love you, we love you.
I love you.